What's going on, everybody? How you doing? As you can see, I got a haircut. A lot of things are changing. Um, Give me your best roast in the comments of my new hairstyle. I think I kind of look like Candace Ordo. Um, so today's a very special video because I'm making a video for one, which is great because it's the new year and I've been procrastinating making videos, and here I am making one. So this one's special because I talked to y'all about how I change a lot, like how I change and go through different developments, go through different sagas of my life, but I don't ever tell you how, per se. So this video is kind of an aim to do that because I'm having a hard time right now going through winter. Winter season is really hard. Since like 2017, my first winter when I was in the army, to now has been total L's. I mean, so that's like 6 years or 7 years or something. So winter's like 6-0ing me right now, so I'm having a really hard time. But this winter's not over. It goes until like February or March, or depending on where you're at. Um, so this battle's not over, or rather, the war isn't over, but the battle may be lost for now, but the war is not over. So we're going to try to figure out how to win the war against winter, and winter is just an example of an adversary. I mean, your adversary could be different. And let's talk about this. All right, post time skip Zach here because my audio was messed up on the first recording, so we're gonna redo it. Isn't that great? All right, so the winter here is just a reflection of my life, my circumstances. So I'm using winter as my adversary, but winter can be anything for you. Let's talk about these things here that are going on. First thing is natural resistance. So why is it so hard? Things that are outside your control. It's very cold, which makes things harder. There's less sunlight, scientifically proven, increases depression symptoms. I'm away from my family and friends. Don't have a lot of friends near me. Car troubles. I can use my car like once a day, if that. And then depression symptoms, right? It's hard to get up. It's hard to get out of bed and do things. We all understand this. Now let's talk about our growth factors and our limiting factors. Now, these are just words. I mean, you could call this anything you want, X factors and Y factors. But what's important is this is like what you should do, this is what you can do, and this is what you want to do. Both are in your control. Okay? This is what I want to do. This is the bad guy, the Darth Vader. But just like Darth Vader, there is good in him. I see it. Okay? So, video games and YouTube. This is what I want to do. One of the three things. I just put three categories here. Reason why it's good and bad. Social interaction. I hang out with my friends. It's fun. I learn things from both YouTube and games. It's hype, and it can be mentally freeing. Why is it bad? Well, overconsumption, unhealthy thinking patterns in terms of, oh, I suck at this game. Oh, I suck at this. I'm not as cool as these people on YouTube. I'm not as good looking as these people on YouTube. Expectations, same thing. And it leads to your vices. Let's skip to vices real quick. Vices, porn, masturbation, alcohol, weed, etc. These are just examples for me. Um, these are all, I mean, porn is just exclusively bad, but masturbation, alcohol, weed are not bad on their own. They're fine in moderation, right? So they're positive in moderation, and they can also prevent future overconsumption of these bad things. They're fun in social settings. Drinking, eating with your friends, all fun in social settings. It's free. It's good, but it's bad because you overconsume them. It's anyone who knows who's addicted to something, any of these things. You keep consuming it. You keep wanting to do it. It's bad, and that's because you're creating negative brain neural pathways, meaning that everything you do creates a path in your brain that makes it easier to do that same thing again. Okay, and in the case of uh, these things, it is very, very true because you're also mixing in a bunch of chemicals in the brain, like dopamine and serotonin, that make you want to do those things, that make you feel good for doing those things, etc. It creates that loop. It's hard to get out of it, but you can break the cycle. Only you can. Um, and remember, there is good in him. These things are fine in moderation, okay? Aside from porn, don't watch porn. Porn is really bad for your brain. It creates unhealthy thinking patterns and expectation. for the youth, for the woman and for the guy, like in both cases. Okay. So those are the limiting factors. These are things that are good. You can do them, and in fact, you should, because they prevent future overconsumption. So in the case of like eating unhealthy food is a very easy example. If you deprive yourself of that cake or bag of chips that you wanted to buy at the store, like a week down the line, a couple days down the line, you're gonna see another bag of chips or cake, and you're gonna eat the whole fucking cake because you didn't give yourself that one little thing, and now because you don't have that one little thing, you want everything. You know what I mean? So just give yourself a break here and there, and it'll make it to where you won't completely cheat on your diet or whatever in the future. Okay. Now, growth factors, what you should do, the Superman over here. This is like your mana and your HP, okay? This is what gives you your power. You have your habits, your willpower, and your discipline. Willpower is a limited resource. It can be replenished, it can be extinguished, and it is replenished and extinguished through these activities here, okay? They both give you more willpower and they both take away your willpower because it takes willpower to stop playing games. It takes willpower to not eat that unhealthy food, to resist these things. But it also gives you willpower when you give yourself that break, right? You give yourself that break to enjoy something. Okay? And then your discipline is something cultivated over time. Okay? So currently, I have a little bit of discipline, I'd say. Like, out of 10, I have like maybe a 4 out of 10 of discipline right now. I say at my peak, maybe I had like a 7 out of 10 of discipline, maybe an 8. Okay. A person who has like a 10 out of 10 discipline would be like David Goggins. Okay, he's a monster. Um, and how we create discipline, how we cultivate this to increase our ability to do the things we need to do, it's done over time, slowly over time. Okay, this is what I want to do with my discipline. I want to create YouTube videos, write my book, talk more about that another time. I want to work out. I want to do my Atomic Habits. What are my Atomic Habits? Atomic Habits is a book, but they're just basically habits that you do every day. Think of the 1%, the little things you do every day that make yourself better over the course of time. What I do already is push-ups, pull-ups, dips, meditation, physical exercise, and reading. Do this generally every day. I sometimes miss, but the point is that it's a part of my system. It's a part of what I do. I don't have to. It doesn't take much to do it. It doesn't take much willpower. It doesn't take much discipline because I've done it for so long. Because I've cultivated it over time. Okay. So this is what we need to understand. Okay. Think about what is outside of your control. Think about what you can control, and think about how you want to grow. Okay. And here's how we're going to do that. Okay. Here's the step-by-step guide. All right. A weekly planner. Okay. We can do this together. I will make a progress video maybe at week 4 or something. And then, of course, in the week of March 12th, I will make a final video. Okay? So, week 1. Here's the things we need to talk about. We need to cultivate discipline. We do this through habits and through Can't Hurt Me. So, let's talk about that. Can't Hurt Me talks about overcoming insecurities. So, what are some of your insecurities that you need to overcome in order to become a better you, a better whatever? What do you want to do with that? Removing your governor means removing your limits. You limit yourself in the same way that a car limits itself from going as fast as it can. That's what a governor is. And we do that by increasing volume over time, which we'll go into. Atomic Habits. It's very simple. It's a 1% improvement every day. It's a very small thing. It's a minimum. You're creating an easy minimum. The big 3 are reading, exercise, and meditation. These are things I recommend everyone do. No matter what you want to do, you should include reading, exercise, and meditation. You want to create a routine. You want to work towards something. Okay? I know that's very vague, but it's vague for a reason. Okay? Because you have to create that answer, but you're not ready to create that answer yet. Okay? So just work with me here. you want to enjoy the process. This is the big three up here. Enjoy the process through mindfulness, understanding what you're doing, enjoying it, having fun. You're not outcome focused. So let's show this right here. This is a nice idea of a mountain, and your goal is on the top, and then you descend. Okay. Just like I ran the marathon, I was going through the process, and then I ran the marathon, and then I descended. Well, there's a couple ways to look at this. One way is, hey, I ran the marathon. I didn't get the goal I wanted. I wanted a goal of 4 hours. I got like 4:05 or 4:02. I don't even remember anymore. Um, and I didn't complete my goal. That's an outcome focused um, thinking pattern, and so I'm a failure because I did not complete my goal of the outcome focused result. So here's the other way of looking at it. If I'm enjoying the process, if I'm being mindful, if I'm having fun, if I'm thinking about what happened, I loved doing it. I loved becoming better at running. I loved like seeing what I'm capable of. I loved doing the marathon. I loved being with my friend doing that adventure. Um, the whole process was fun. And then I come down. You're always going to come down. It's just natural. But it's what you do in that time that matters, okay? And so this is what we're doing here. We're in that come down phase. What do we do now? And then in line with enjoying the process, there's burnout and reset, which if I am forcing myself to run, which in this calm down period I did. I was like, I need to keep running. I need to keep working out. Guess what? I burned out and I stopped running for a couple weeks. And in a sense, I reset my running. So that sucks, but that's where we're at. So how do I get my joy of running back? Well, I don't force myself to do it. I don't force myself to run at a certain pace for X amount of time, X amount of times a week. I am instead going to do it the way that I enjoy, right? Which we'll get into. Another thing is you want to desire less. So it's great to have goals. It's great to want to achieve things. But if you're constantly striving towards the next big thing, more results, more this, more that, you will never be happy. You will always want more. I promise you. No matter what rank you achieve in your games, no matter what time you get in your runs, what weight you get down, you will always want more. You will always want to be more. Um, Desire less. Okay? It takes practice. I'm not there yet. I'm working on this now, currently, with you. This whole thing we're doing together, okay? So we're trying to desire less. And the last of the big three here is tell others and ask for help, okay? What does this do? It creates personal accountability with yourself and possibly with that other person. And it decreases isolation, giving you more support, a support system. And we'll go over this part in a second. I want to just quickly tell you what the whole point of this is. The whole point of this is you're cultivating a lifestyle that goes with you anywhere. No matter where you're at in the world, no matter what you're doing, you can do this. You can do your habits. You can translate this thing that you're becoming. Okay? You're not goal or outcome focused. You're creating a system to follow, a foundation for your life. Okay? And that foundation can be transferred to any desired task and goal. Okay? So if we look at like a marathon, the marathon I did, it wasn't the fact that I did a marathon. That's cool and all, but what happened was I became a person who was able to do something over the course of time, like dedicate a 9 week or whatever to do something hard, overcome adversity, and that same program can be applied to anything, right? This is that program. This is what you're trying to do. You're trying to, whether it's your first time doing this, your third time, you're creating a foundation that you can take anywhere, okay? And that foundation continues to increase over time because it's mainly built upon discipline, one of the three here. One thing I want to talk about with cultivating discipline is sometimes it's hard, okay? I've been there, I'm here now, in fact. It's very hard to be down, to be at the low. So what do we do? Well, there's two things I learned from Healthy Gamer. Link in the description. Speaking of link in description, this will be in the description. This chart, you can create your own version, look at it, whatever you want to do. And also my Discord for the YouTube channel will be in the description as well, so you can interact with me, talk to me, whatever. There's two things, okay? The doorway effect is very simple. If you're going through a hard time, if you're kind of in a mental loop, a feedback loop from hell, subtle art not giving a fuck, or you're having a hard time thinking about what you want to do, you're kind of stuck. It's very funny the way this is described. It's like, just walk through a doorway. Have you ever been like looking for something? You're like, I'm gonna go to the kitchen, I'm gonna get this one thing, and then you walk through the doorway, you're in the kitchen, you open the fridge, and you forget what you're doing. That's the doorway effect. So you can apply this to anything if you're having a hard time. Just walk through some doorways, go take a walk, and you'll reset. Okay? It's very simple, but it could help you. And then the next thing is the next best thing. And this is very, very helpful, especially when it comes to Atomic Habits, because Atomic Habits talks about this too, right? We're creating a very easy minimum that we can do every day. So an easy minimum is like, I'm gonna do one push-up a day. I have to do one push-up a day. I can do more, but I have to do one. Well, even in the most extreme case, what's the next best thing I can do? If I don't want to do that one push-up, what can I do? Well, I'll just get on the ground. Like, I'll just sit there for a second. I'll just change for just 1 minute. You know, that's the next best thing. If I don't want to go to the gym, I just get ready to go to the gym. That's the next best thing. Okay. This helps you start to develop habits, start to develop the beginning process that leads into the bigger things. Okay. It's all about cultivating it over time. You're not in a rush. Okay. You're not in a rush because when you're increasing volume of what you're doing, you're also expanding the upper limit of your pace. And what that means is your pace determines how fast you improve, which is great, but it also equally determines how fast you burn out. So remember that when you're doing this whole thing. You want to do it slow and steady. So my week 1 looks like this, okay? This is what, and the green is what I'm already doing, and the orange is what I'm trying to change for this week, and then integrates into the next week, okay? So I'm currently doing 20 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, 5 dips, one of my 2 meditations at least. I'm exercising 20 to 30 minutes a day. If I'm running, it's 20 minutes. If I'm going to the gym, it's 30 minutes. And I read for 5 minutes, okay? Those are my habits. And I'm trying to integrate stretching. I'm trying to integrate waking up before 9 a.m. I'm trying to integrate sleeping before midnight. In terms of working out, again, exercising, but more specifically 5 days this week. And then I'm also including another stipulation that one day must include the gym or the rec center. And then the goal is to reach 150 zone minutes for the week. Okay. Projects. I'm not there yet. It's an orange, right? So I'm trying to write 1 chapter per week of my book. And I'm also trying to make 1 weekly video to be released on Sunday. Okay? Daily 10 minutes on both. Which means that every day, for at least 10 minutes, I have to work on this. I have to work on writing and I have to work on making a video. And then vices. You're allowing yourself to do what you want to do once a week. If you can't do once a week, do the next best thing. Okay? If you're not ready to do once a week on drinking or eating unhealthy, whatever, then do twice a week. Do on the weekends only. Do on the weekends, I'm going to set it straight, but on the weekdays, I'm just going to go hard. Whatever, man. Like, just start with something, okay? And then you're improving on that the next week, okay? It's the same thing with all these. I'm not asking you to do what I do. This is a lot, okay? Don't do what I do. Do what you want to do. Start slow and build it up over time. I promise you things will start to change. So we're increasing our volume by 1 to 10%. That means our minimum. So now instead of 20 push-ups, I'm doing 25. Pull-ups go to 7, dips go to 7. Okay. I'm also increasing my volume of my stretching. I'm waking up a bit earlier. I'm sleeping a bit earlier. I'm reading a little bit more. So expanding my upper limit as well. I'm running 5 more minutes. I'm at the gym 5 more minutes. I'm adding another day of working out, which is active recovery. So it could just be walking or something. And then my weekly zone increases as well. And then in terms of my projects, now I'm asked to revise another chapter as well as write another chapter. I'm also going to write another video. So I'm not only just going to make a video, I'm going to make one and write one. And then my daily increases to 15. Now, if I keep doing this, week 3, week 4, by week 9, you can kind of see where I'll be at, okay? And I will admit for you, this is difficult for me now because, again, my discipline is low. I'm cultivating my discipline all over again. So I want you to understand that this is a slow process. Don't rush it. If this feels like a lot, you're looking at what I'm doing and you're like, man, that's a lot of shit. Then don't do it. Don't do that much, okay? Just do a little bit. Say, hey, I'm gonna go for a walk today for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna keep doing that every day. And then if I want to increase it, I can. By next week, I should increase it to like 10 minutes or something like that. I want to wake up a little bit earlier. 9 a.m. seems like a lot, so I'm gonna do 10 a.m. Okay, wake up at 10 a.m. And then next week, try to wake up at 9:30, 9:45 even. It can be as slow as you want. Okay. The important thing is that you're slowly going up. Okay. You just want to slowly climb. It doesn't have to be so drastic. And remember the doorway effect. Remember the next best thing. Try to build your chart. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out what's hard for you. Who's your adversary? What are your limiting factors in terms of what do you want to do? Why is it good? Why is it bad? This is the framework. And I can't promise I'm going to do one in 4 weeks, but I will do one at week 9. So at the very least, we'll see each other again on this topic in the week of March 12th. So until then, see you guys next time.